joethefinanceguy.com.
Yeah.
Yo, Joe.
I'm getting so much better at that. That is just...
You are getting great. Look, it's Cup of Joe. I forgot to fill up my coffee cup, so I'm asking my daughter to come fill the cup.
Well, believe it or not, I have coffee today.
Thank you. There you go.
I actually have coffee.
I have my water too, just in case anybody's...
I have water as well, but I did bring the coffee down. My coffee, I think I put this much coffee in it, and I put this collagen keto type thing in there, because the older you get, you need to keep the elasticity up. So,
bro, I need to maybe do some of that. My skin is looking old and old and old.
Well, I went to the gym before this today, so I'm feeling good.
I didn't go to the gym, but I've been more active this week than I have been in quite a while. In fact, I gotta tell you, I'm feeling really good. My mind, it's kind of like, you ever feel like you're in a slumber, like a prolonged slumber, like everything is just like you're in a nightmare, and then all of a sudden you snap out of it?
God, I would have never. Well, yeah, like I feel like I'm in a nightmare.
You're like every Friday at 3:00.
Well, it's actually 6 for me.
All right, 6:00 for you, 3:00 for me.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, that you feel like that. Yeah.
But I'm feeling good, man. Things are going well, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Well, that's good. But before we start, I just want
to
all the opinions and views expressed on this show are of Joe the Finance Guy and Ira Bowman, Bowman Digital Media, and not of ASEMA and or Rent-A-Center.
There we go.
Obviously,
Sabrina's in the house. Hello, Sabrina.
That is awesome. How you doing, Sabrina? I'm doing, because Ryan's not here.
So where's Ryan? I was going to ask you. Where's our?
No, but he all he has to do is just sign in.
Did you send him the link?
He doesn't need the link. He signs in.
He might not know that, though.
Believe me, Ira, I promise you, I sent him.
Ryan, where are you? Get your butt on our show, brother.
If you want to, can you? Since I'm
gonna text him right now.
Everything but he would have answered the text. Remember, I just text you too with the whole it's showtime.
Hey, it sounds silly, but if anybody out there is a praying person, my son is about to audition for his first college play. He's really, really nervous. Can y'all say a quick prayer for RJ?
Really?
Oh, yeah. RJ's, look, the kid's
I'll do that. I heard that his sweet smells, so he's going to need some Scentsy in there.
By smell, he means stinks. Yes, I heard that same thing. I think we're getting our information from the same source.
Yes, Alicia, I do follow you on Facebook, so I just want to let you know.
Sometimes Joe tells me what's going on with Alicia, which is a lot of fun. But anyways.
But I saw that room was pretty it's pretty.
Oh, that dorm is sweet, man. They got three rooms there, so there's two boys per room, right? But it's like an apartment thing, so they've got 3 rooms, and they've got a living room and a dining area. So they've got like a kitchen, a kitchenette, they've got a fridge and a stove, and they've got washing. Thank you very much, Lori. I really appreciate that. My son is talented. Look, I know every parent's going to say that about their kid, but he's been acting pretty much his whole life in church plays and stuff. And then he started doing it in junior high in school. And then by the time he got to high school, he was the lead in pretty much everything he ever auditioned for. So he's got talent for sure. But this is the next step up for him. This is, college. So
next thing you know, he'll be like one of the Marvel superheroes.
Yeah, he probably likes Batman better than Superman too, just so you know.
That's just
we know little Ira does. Ira goes for Joe, not Ira Senior. But Ira Junior is the happiest kid on the planet right now. You know why?
Probably got his own room.
That too. He's in band, and he just validated that too. Yeah, but he's got a smile for days. So he's been bugging me for days. He's like, Dad, I need to get a drum pad and sticks and a stand for band. He's playing drums this year. So remember last year he was on the trumpet, but he got to junior high. He's in junior high now. So everybody's graduated up to the next school. RJ's in college. Lily's now in high school. Ira Jr.'s in junior high, which is just ridiculous for my mind to handle. But anyways, so he asked me, can he get the stuff? But I was busy and I did the dad thing. I'm like, yeah, talk to me later, right? So then I heard him talking like, yeah, I hope my stuff comes in tomorrow. I just assumed he talked to his mom and they ordered it. So yesterday he goes, Dad, when's my stuff coming in? I'm like, I don't know. What's the order say? He said, I didn't order it. I'm like, oh my God. All right. So I ordered it yesterday.
I looked at him and went like this.
Yeah, you know, Marielle, I might be reaching out to you because he's never played the drums before. This is new. Now I'm a drummer, percussionist, if you will, so I can do it, but I don't always have time. And sometimes, as everybody probably knows, when you're trying to teach your kids stuff, they don't always hear it from you because your dad or mom, right? In our case, dad. But yeah. So Steve, Mariella's husband, if you guys are not familiar, he is a music man. He plays professionally. He also owns a music tutoring business. They do music lessons for a variety of instruments: the bass guitar, the drums. I want to say the trombone, a few things. Anyways, Mariella, correct us. Yeah, he's a drummer, and he's got more talent than I ever had. Steve, he's got his own YouTube channel, so you guys can check it out. All right,
That is awesome.
got off track, but he's walking around with the box like it's like it's a boom box from the 80s when he's walking around with it. He doesn't know what to do with the stuff yet, but he just is excited to have it.
No, that is actually truly awesome. No, I know, and we moved in Tori on
I know, it's that time, right? So
and she left today. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Tori is a sophomore though, right?
Yeah, she's a sophomore.
Yeah.
We moved her in on Wednesday and she came back home. She was getting brakes put back on her car. Shout out to Big O Tires in Noblesville. Thank you very much.
Come on. Safe.
But anyways, and what? Oh, do you want me to say what I usually say? And if you want to sponsor us,
please. Yes, I 100% want you to do that. Why don't we have a sponsor yet? This is ridiculous.
I don't know. I ought to ask, and I'm just I blame me.
All right, you know what I'm gonna do, Joe?
What?
I'm gonna update. There you go. I got it right. Drums, bass, guitar, and trombone. Bam! I'm on it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna make a graphic that says "Sponsor Cup of Joe," and I'll put it up as a post. We'll see if that works.
That'll be great. I think that should be done.
Yeah, I'll get that done.
So we
you're wearing an Asima shirt. Look at you.
Yeah. Well, I had to rock the guns today, and I took.
Come on, I got tickets to the show.
Yeah, do you? That's good.
Yeah, baby.
51 years old, and I'm still feeling good.
Boom.
But anyways, and there is something else I want to come back on this because I saw something. I was talking with a friend.
Why don't we hit it now?
Well, because I want to finish the Tori story.
Oh, okay.
But I will go back to it because I saw it today. But anyways, Tori, we move her in. She came back home that night because she hasn't slept there yet. And she left today to sleep, at the college.
Actually stay there. Yeah.
She starts on Monday.
What is her major?
She was going to be a psychiatrist. I think she's going into nursing now.
Okay.
She'd rather do nursing and stuff like that. She's talked to a lot of people nursing.
Lizzie, if she can get back into the swing of school, that's what she's interested in doing. Because all of this stuff that's happened to her, she wants to help others. I think that's super cool.
No, that I think it's great. And Tori is so just awesome at that stuff and just wanting to be around people. But
right,
so she's leaving today, and I got off like on Fridays. I get off a little bit early. I work pretty hard, during the week. Work hard, and then so I can get off a little early.
You always hit your quota like on the 4th day of the month, man.
I think I hit it's funny. It's up on my other screen and I'm looking at everything, but I have hit it. And I think I hit it last week by our region conference call Monday. I already hit it. So I was good. But
in other words, it should be Joe, the sales guy.
Yeah, no, I like the finance guy.
I know.
I like
it. I'm just saying.
So anyway, she was leaving today and she started crying.
How far away? That's not that far away from me.
No, it's not. It's 45 minutes. I go like this, kid, don't worry about it.
My kids drive my kids, if the school's not 2,000 miles away, they're not interested.
Really? So I'm glad. I'm very fortunate.
Alicia. They all want to get away from her.
I think I'm very fortunate that all the kids except Logan, I want to say except the youngest, I think all the kids want to be home with us.
Yeah, because
You know, they want.
Logan's the boy.
Yeah, Logan's boy.
He's
Dad,
like,
I'm turning 18. I'm out of here.
see ya.
And he
Yeah.
said it to me many times. Now, do I think he's going to come back? Of
Oh, yeah.
course,
Boomerang.
and be there. But yeah, and obviously he's a little bit younger now. But
Look, Marlena's here when she's not in school. I don't know that RJ is gonna be like that. I think RJ might be more like Chris. Like, I'm out of that place, man. It's
right, because we just never. It's a time to start our own stuff. But anyways, all right. So I'm working out today. I went to the gym right after I got off work. Came home, changed. I was still
Are you
in.
Are you 24-hour fitness? Is that where you go?
No, I go to LA Fitness, which is actually called something else right now, but
I was gonna say LA Fitness or whatever you're called.
it's yeah, Cup of Joe,
Cup of Joe.
please
All right.
sponsor.
You know what
Um,
we should do
but
if they do that? We should make them buy us some coffee mugs with their logos on it. That'd be cool.
yep. And but anyways, I was going over there and I'm on the elliptical to start, and I'm still in fasting mode because I didn't eat yet. It's only been water and my ketone drink.
You're doing noon to 6.
No,
No.
I did like yesterday. I should have stopped fasting at 11 and 11 today. I started at 7. I would have stopped at 11 or 11 a.m. this morning, but I actually stopped at, I believe it was 2. Yeah, 2 o'clock is when I stopped.
So you're doing intermittent fasting multiple times a day?
No, not multiple times, just for multiple. Like this one was 18 hours.
So you
18.
don't eat dinner?
Well, no, I will. I mean, I actually already ate today. I already ate. So
Dang.
I'm not going to eat anything else. After I get done with this coffee, I'll stop by 7.
Till tomorrow?
And then I won't eat again probably till now. Tomorrow I'll go to the gym earlier. Like I'll walk in the morning and then I'll do the gym and I'll probably
But
be
you
done.
still have water, right? So
Yeah.
after 7, you can have water if you're hungry or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just water or coffee, and just black coffee, which I can't do what you do. So if that's not happening.
Hair on your chest, brother.
Yeah, sure it is. And yeah, I don't get it. But I'm at the gym.
All right. You're on the elliptical.
On the elliptical, but to give you the backstory on it, I was talking to a friend yesterday, called me up, and him and I work together. And he's great person. We bounce ideas off each other all the time. Like most of my friends where I work, they have moved up the ladder because I have declined promotions in the past so many times.
Because you like money.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's the only reason. I just don't want to be. I like coming home and sleeping in my bed every night.
Yeah, and the promotions do 2 things. They rob you of money and they rob you of sanity. I mean, other than that, they're great.
Well, the sanity I could agree because I've seen some of my friends and
I was dumb and took
agree
some of
that.
those promotions.
But anyway, so we were talking, and he goes, "Joe, I want to bounce something off you." And it was a very great conversation because he was talking about hashtag quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting. Oh yeah. This is
I've never heard of it.
No, this is a thing. Yeah.
I know. So I went like this. I go, what? He goes, do you know what it is? So I was thinking, like, are you talking about when a person's unhappy? Like, I've never heard of the movement. Sorry, I didn't read Reddit when it first came out. I did not see everything on this. But we were talking about it, and he goes like this, there should be other ways to address, quiet quitting, and maybe it's not just quiet quitting. How do he put it in such a way that there's, people need to know facts, like factual information versus fictional influencing. Because sometimes, and I'm not saying quiet quitting isn't, I get it because you got to have the work-life balance, but I think it went off into a bunch of tangents. Quiet quit. There's like a whole, it's not just about one thing. It's about a lot of other things. And so I've never heard of it. We were bouncing off some things, and I was thinking of some other way to brand it. So if somebody's upset about their job and they're really that upset that they don't want to work there anymore, you know what? find something else, because I know I've been there and I get it. And if you're not happy, if you are not happy with what you love, I don't want to say it won't ever get better, but sometimes it
So
won't. And if it's gone on for a prolonged period of time and you're not able to express it, you
let's
know,
let's rip this Band-Aid off, because this is a big deal.
it is. It
And
really is.
I'm getting ready to write something about what's underlying behind the quiet quitting movement, and I put that in
I saw.
the comments in case anybody wants to just click on it and see more. But what really it boils down to is culture. Everybody talks about hiring for skill or hiring for attitude, and then some people are even aware of these profile tests you take, like their personality tests you take, and they're like, why do they want personality profiles on you before they agree to hire you or part of the interview process? And here's the idea: you cannot change really who you are. I mean, you
True.
can work on yourself, but at the core, there's things that make you happy. Like, for example, you guys may have noticed I talk a lot, right? Because I talked to Joe's seat. But
I'm right here. I'm just grabbing something. That's all.
there are introverts, there are extroverts, and there's way more to it than just that. And if you're unhappy, the odds are you were a mismatch from the beginning. The person who did the interview process never thought about how you would fit culturally into either the department or the company. And they really did you a disservice, and they did themselves a disservice, because it's hard to find good people. It's also, expensive to train you. On
Right.
average, it takes about a year's worth of salary to really onboard somebody, right? That's how much it costs. And people,
Right.
if you're an employee only, you never really thought about that. But as a business owner, I think about it all the time. And I've tried to get better and better at the interview process, which we can talk about in a second, what I'm doing with interns here in a couple weeks. But this is what I'm advising people to do in your job search as part of your criterion or checklist when you're doing your due diligence on should you or should you not go to work for a certain company. Right now, if you haven't figured it out, if everybody hasn't figured it out, for a long time, the pendulum had swung in the direction of the employers. They had lots of options. They were super picky, and it was hard, it was hard to find a job because there just was not enough people hiring. So they could be ultra picky. But the pendulum actually has swung back the other way, and employers are desperate to find good people. So what I'm telling job seekers from Project Help You Grow who ask for my opinion is this: do homework on the culture of the company that's offering you the job, not
Agreed.
just the department, but the company itself, because you might really love, let's just use Bowman Digital Media as an example. You might really love marketing. So you think, okay, great. And I really like that Ira guy, what I've seen on him. It looks like a great company. And, their clutch reviews are good. They don't have any negative reviews anywhere online. So it looks like a great company. But the fact is, Ira is not a micromanager. And there are things in my company, because like we're all remote, nobody works, in an office. There are things that you might not like culturally. It doesn't fit you. You might need that camaraderie. You might need that oversight. There are things that, in my culture, it just wouldn't fit you. And so you would come in and you would be miserable. And then what's going to happen 6 months later, 12 months later, 18 months later, you're going to be like, you know what, I'm going to bounce here because I'm not happy. Or, and this is actually sometimes worse, you're not the problem. The problem is the culture of the company that you're in. They have a toxic environment. And this is where it could be really bad. You jump in and you find something that's awful, and then you're miserable. And it's like you would have been happy, but you don't have the power to change out the team, especially if you're not a manager. And even if you are a manager, like where I was working in Texas, I was a mid manager, right? So I didn't have the authority to swap out what was wrong with the company's culture. And after 4 years, I'm like, I'm out of here. I just can't take it anymore. So that's
Well,
some things with the quiet quitting that people should be thinking about as a job seeker.
one of the things that we were talking about, I'm sorry, my phone rang.
No, that's all right.
Of that. But one of the things we were talking about with this is, and I know we talk about anything, and I don't know how, I don't like talking about, what I don't like talking about. And
I know
definitely,
exactly what you don't want to talk about, so let's not talk about that. But we can talk hypothetically.
but when you're looking at hashtag quiet quitting, and one of the things, my friend and I were talking about, and if you're watching, I'm not going to use your name. Unless you tell me one day, if you text me and go, Joe, I want to be on the show, I'll send you the StreamYard.
Yeah.
But anyways, one of the things we talked about is, here it is, 4:45. Person's supposed to get off at 5:00, and the supervisor calls them a meeting really quick, and those meetings go longer than just 15 minutes or whatever. And I go back, all right, well, is the person hourly or are they salary? And that does make a difference there, I believe, with the hourly and salary part. I am a big component of home work-life balance. I've always been. I think that is very important. In order for you to work great, to be able to work professionally and work good at your job or profession, whatever you want to call it, you have to have that work-life balance, because behind every great person, there's another greater one taking care of everything at home. And you've heard me say that about Alicia with you, Jen with me. It's very true out there. And I'm sorry, I know I'm not being a very good producer today. Ryan had something unexpected come up, so that's why he's not. He texted us. So Ryan, we miss you. Just want to let you know.
Brian texted me, said I get a pay raise when I come back. All right, so let's talk about this. Even in the notes, we've got some people, Sabrina and our friend Mariella, talking about, companies don't always.
That's true. God, what she just said.
But let's be clear. I'm not telling you're doing your research. You have to look. It's their job to sell the company, right? That's their job. So I'm not really surprised that they don't come out and say, yeah, we have a cultural mess and you're going to be part of how we fix it. That would be cool if they would be honest like that. But most of the time they're not. So this is why sites like Glassdoor exist.
Right.
And you don't have to just use Glassdoor. It's just a tool, right? In Project Help You Grow, I have been talking about this forever. They're called informational interviews. Right. And yes, I agree 100% with the work-life balance. In fact, that's where I got off. So I always tell people, like, I'm not necessarily the best role model, because if you're trying to build a business, man, I'm your guy, right? But if you want to have a happy wife, happy life, and happy kids, and also inner peace, there's some things that I was doing because I was spending too much time on my work and not enough time in my devotions and on my health and in my family. I was robbing them, if you will, of time tokens so I would be successful in business. So,
but that was hold on, Ira, but that is, you're building a business.
Yeah, that's a little different.
And that was your choice. I could be wrong. Remember, I didn't read the Reddit post. I didn't read anything up on this. I'm just going by everything that I've heard.
Yeah.
So if you are building a business, everybody, I could tell you about my sister-in-law and brother-in-law when they were building their trucking business and what they went through, what they've told me they went through. People sacrifice when they're building a business. For you, it's the same way. But when you work for a company, wouldn't it be a little bit different doing it than the other?
Yeah, no. So this is what I'm trying to get at for prospective job seekers who are interviewing in a company or considering interviewing in a company. One of the things that you should be doing is checking the culture. And here's how you do it. You reach out to people that have worked for them or currently work for them, or you look at places like Glassdoor. And that's one of the things that you want to look at, because as much as companies are going to try to PR spin things, employees are going to be more honest. So talk to past employees, but sometimes people are just disgruntled. So you have to, you know what I mean? You have to kind of learn how to divide and conquer, if you will, and to get to the heart of it. But ask them why they left, right? Ask
Yeah.
them, or if they've been there for 25 years, ask them, hey, what keeps you here? You know what I mean? Those are the kinds of things that you want. And then know, like, for example, you have a headquarters, let's say it's in Dallas, and then you have a regional office in LA. The headquarters may have a great culture, and so the reputation for the company is built on that headquarter location, but your regional office in LA might be awful. So you kind of have to do a little bit of sleuth work, if you will, some private investigation work into, and it takes effort.
Right.
But the cautionary tale here is not to get so excited about the first offer that you get, and the moment that you get it, there's a lot of work that goes into making sure it's going to be a good fit. Look, I know what I ask people to do requires a lot. I do. But the fact is, if people will listen to the advice I give, they'll be safeguarded in a variety of ways from taking a job that they don't like. And I promise you, some of this stuff I'm learned from firsthand experience, and some of the stuff I've learned from talking to a ton of people. And so I don't put that information out there lightly, but culture is one of those things that most people don't think about. But at the end of the day, it's really probably the most important thing, other than maybe salary, because you got to make enough to pay the bills, obviously, right? So if you're in the right salary ballpark, if someone was to pay you $6,000 a year less, but it was a great culture,
You might not necessarily move. And I
your
agree.
quality of life, but your quality of life is going to be so much higher. The stress, the drama, all that stuff, you don't have that stuff. Or someone offered you $6,000 a year more, which is basically peanuts per check, but now you're in this high pressure place where everybody hates you. And I mean, dang, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So don't forget to utilize tools. You can reach out on LinkedIn. You can reach out on all kinds of platforms. There's ways. If you're not familiar with this term informational interview, it's kind of like like asking a mentor, but they're not your mentor, but it's somebody who's done the job that you're applying for, or even better, they're at the next level up. They've done it and they've moved up, because then you can get all kinds of advice. And sometimes they can connect you with people that are, if they interview you or they talk to you and they're impressed with you, now all of a sudden they're gonna like open up their Rolodex. I know it makes me old, but right, they're gonna refer you to people inside their industry. I've had that happen for marketing all the time. I talk to somebody, they don't need my services, but go, man, I didn't realize that you were this good at this. I want you to talk to my friend who needs marketing
Right.
help, and I get a lot of business that way. You can find a job that way.
Right.
That's called informational interview. Excuse me.
I like informational interview. I'm gonna
Yeah,
actually
and
tell
I've got a blog on it on Project Help You Grow. You guys can read for free.
I like that. You should put the link on there.
I'll find it and do that. Yep.
Yeah. But I'm not that I wanted to get on the whole thing, but it was weird. I've never heard about it. How long has it been going on, Ira? Has it been and then Ira left. So thanks, Ira. Um he'll be getting on any minute now. But I haven't seen this in a long period of time or at all. And then all of a sudden today it was like right on the news. So if anybody knows how long it's been going on for, please let me know. But while Ira is trying to dial back in and come back in, because I asked him to bring his start or article up. One of the things that I know that I did this weekend, or what came out on the fun side, was She-Hulk, and I was going to talk about it with Ira, but I'm sure he didn't watch that yet, so just waiting on him right now. But if you can, any of you that are watching right now, put in the comments where you're from and where you're watching us from, and which I could probably see anyways. LinkedIn, I get on here. So there he is. He found it. So great. And now he's going to try to get back on. Wouldn't that be funny? He's probably talking right now in there, and he doesn't even know that he's not on until he sees. Wait a minute. Looks down. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not even on yet. So, but there's the blog for Ira. And Sabrina, I think, has been going on for a while, but it's become popular in recent weeks with everything going on with the job market. Interesting. As I said, I did not know that it was going on that long. And
I've never had that happen, Joe. What happened?
I kicked you off. I don't know what happened.
I think I must have clicked the X. I was clicking over to get the Project Helpy Girl link. Did you see it, Cayman?
Yeah, I posted it. I put it up there.
Okay.
And then because I was asking
we've been doing this show for a couple of years. We've never had that problem.
I know, and thanks so much. I think I turned red on camera.
You're welcome, brother.
Yeah, here I am by myself. So
yeah, so I don't know where you guys heard where you heard, but I've only actually heard of this term, the actual term, about a month ago.
Okay, so a month ago. Well,
yeah, but the fact is that during COVID, this attitude got there because employers honestly were kind of holding employees over a barrel. Like you had to do whatever you know what I mean? Like there was no like really, I don't want to put everybody out there. There was a lot of people that were getting abused, I think, at work, or they felt like they were getting abused. And that's why you had that great resignation.
Yeah. And I coined that phrase. You remember that? I talked to you about that.
Yeah.
Even before I go like this, you watch what's going to happen. We're gonna end up with the great resignation because people are going to come in and they're not going to be happy anymore. Because going back to a point of what somebody else said, and I think it was Sabrina that said it earlier, that companies initially say something or portray something, and then guess what happens afterwards?
You find out what's real. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's usually not better, which sucks. But here's what I think is happening too, right? Because people are like, well, now there's more jobs. Unemployment rate is pretty low, right? So there's more jobs out there. Of course, we're still hearing about this company's got on their third round of layoffs and stuff, but if you look at my feed, if you were just to scroll my feed on LinkedIn, there's far more people saying, hey, I'd like to share, I just started a new position post, than there are people saying, yeah, I just lost my job post.
Right.
So you just kind of read the tea leaves there and look at the data. The labor data is actually looking pretty good. So I'm excited.
I was telling Jen, I was driving today and I was in West Indianapolis and I was turning into one of the retailers.
Wait a minute. West Indianapolis, born and raised. No, it doesn't work. There's a playground. Days. All right.
But anyways, there was a person like pandering or whatever, and I read the sign, and usually, and maybe it's just me because I was telling my wife, like, if I see a veteran out there,
you're gonna do it. Yeah.
I've always given money or did something. It's just my thing because I'm a fellow disabled vet. I don't want anybody to be in there, and I like to help people. This one guy had a sign up that goes, hey, give me $30 and I'll take down this sign and I'll stop for the day. And I was like, I looked and I was like, man, and he was young. I mean, I say young, he's probably 20s, early 20s, if that. And then I was driving same area, and there's so many other places that are hiring, like fast food restaurants, this, that, and like $15+ an hour. And man, you work 2 hours there. Guess what? There's your 30. So work 8 there. I just thought it was pretty inventive when he said, "Give me $30, I'll take the sign down."
I don't think I've ever seen that. That's cool.
That was the first time I've ever seen somebody do something like that. But you hear about a lot of those people that do the panhandling like that, and they are rich. They have a lot of money. That's what they do for their job. That's their thing. So, but I've also met a lot of others that I've actually sat and talked with, when they like, I'll pull my car over and just talk with them to find out if I'm going to give you money, what do you need? And I've heard a lot of stories, stories like that. I have not taken pictures of it or do a "Where's Joe the finance guy at" today, with it.
Yeah,
Because
I'm not doing that. I'm not going to glorify my good works. I
no,
would say
I
let
wouldn't
the
even say it was glorifying my good works. I just wouldn't do it. Just
don't let the right hand know what the left hand's doing there, man. Just
yeah,
yeah,
that makes sense.
you're doing good. You're doing good things.
All right, so talk to us about how was your last week in Mobile? Was it Mobile?
Yeah, Mobile, Alabama was a lot of fun. If y'all didn't get a chance to see, Instagram is probably the best place to follow me for photos if you're looking for photos. Although I just joined a site that's brand new to me called Lifeframer. And Lifeframer it's for photographers, but they've got contests. So I'm going to start entering my photos there to maybe win some contests. That'd be cool. Um, But mobile, I was learning. I was doing some business training, and I was hanging out with some of Joe and I are a part of a private group, and I was hanging out with about 35 of those compadres. I don't know how else to say that, but fellow members. Anyways, we're getting it.
I would say members, just members.
Yeah, we're getting some advanced training. Like I think most of you know my story, or at least part of it, in the fact that I didn't grow up with very much money, to say the least. So I envisioned myself as an employee or that employee mindset for my whole life. I was resound to the fact that I was never going to own a business, right? I was going to be an employee, and I was trying to climb that track, which is why, it's funny. So Joe talks about this quite a bit. He's passed up the opportunity to get into management, to climb the ladder. But I knew when I was taking some of these roles that I was going to make less because I was making more money as a sole contributor, right? As a sales rep than I would as a manager, of course. But my long-term goal was to then get promoted and promoted and promoted up to like VP or C CEO of sales. What do they
Sweet,
call that? CSO, right?
sweet.
Chief sales officer, right? So that was kind of like the path, the track that I was on until 2020 in my mind. Like we can argue about how successful I was being at it, but that's a different story. Anyways, 2020 totally changed my life because Joe Stepke hired me to build a website. He got me distracted for what I was doing, and so I started Bowman Digital Media. Well, as a business owner, the operational stuff I do a pretty good job at, right? Getting the orders in, getting the orders out, talking and communicating with the clients and promoting it on social media. Like, I mean, those things I'm good at, but there's parts of it that I'm still learning. And so I'm getting this training. I'm investing in my education from an entrepreneurial standpoint. And I'm actually going to be talking about this a lot here in the future, but there's an organization called Blue University. And Blue University is an entrepreneurial college as opposed to going to a 4-year school and spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year on tuition. You're going to spend $6,000 and you're going to get taught by entrepreneurs how to run your entrepreneurial business. So all kinds of different aspects, financing, marketing, operations, all kinds of things. One of the things that I have been learning about is money, how to make money and how to manage money, things like passive income that I've never even really thought about. And one of the things that we were talking about in the training in Alabama this past weekend was the ROI for different types of passive income. One of them is businesses. And I'm like, huh. So I could either acquire, or start more businesses, and that will help me with this passive income as long as I don't sit in the seat and have a job, right? So, anyways, there's a whole lot to this, and I don't have time in 5 minutes or whatever to explain it, but that just like flipped a light bulb on for me. So I am in the process of investigating some businesses that are for sale, and I've reached out to another person inside our group. His first name is Brandon, and he's out of Houston. And I'm going to talk to him about how I can get financing for this that makes sense for everybody. Right. So
Right.
I'm starting to do the work. Look, in life, you should be working on learning new things, improving, and then putting action to what you learn. Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
Correct.
So I am going to training sessions. I went to Texas for a week earlier this year, and I did a thing called the Millionaires Course. So, I'm investing in myself to get the education that I never thought I would need or apply. But that's the part that it's a little scary, but it's fun. It's exciting, right? Is putting these things into practice.
Right.
Even the internship program. Look, I had one this summer. Sabrina, who's on the show, was a former intern for me. So was Mariella, come to think of it, right? So I got two of my interns watching this show. The internship program, part of what I'm doing with that is I'm trading interns or people who want to be my interns 10 hours a week for their time for 1 hour of in-depth training from me, like a classroom training. So they give me 10 hours of work and I give them 1 hour of in-depth training, and they can use that on their resume in a variety of ways because they are an intern, even though it's not paid, it's a trade. It's still a job. It's still technically
Fair exchange.
a role, right? It's a fair exchange, but also they get to meet me and hang out with me and pick my brain and become my friend over the course of the internship. So there's access to me. Some people find that pretty valuable. And then the third thing is if they do a good job, they can get a referral from me on their LinkedIn. And they also can get a letter of recommendation from me. And or sometimes I hire them. Right. So, and now the fourth thing that, again, as I learn, and learn as I go. Another thing that I'm talking about doing is a JV, which is a joint venture. So if I bring in a rock star intern who does not really got the employee mindset, they want to be an entrepreneur, and I see their talents over the course of the internship and go, hey, you know what? You're really good as this, that, or the other thing. They come up with an idea. Maybe they either need money or they need, someone to help them organize the marketing part of it. Then I can jump into a joint venture with them. And also I can introduce them to my friends once I get an idea who they really are too. So anyways, the internship program for the fall for Bowman Digital Media starts on August 31st, I think, or 30th. It's the Tuesday. Anyways, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. And I'm excited. I launched.
It's 30th.
Yeah, the 30th. Yep. So that's what I got going on this week, man. I launched my internship announcement. I did the training in mobile, and I'm looking for businesses. I'm looking at two. There's an embroidery company that I'm looking at in California, and then there's another marketing company actually that I'm looking at in California. I'm looking at those to see if those make sense for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love the fact that she's willing to say that too. I mean, I put my heart into my interns.
You and I need to talk about that because I was thinking about doing something with the remember how like the e-commerce type and for the website and do something like that, because going into something with the printing capabilities and everything else to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so the big thing about the internship program is like I didn't offer internship program for a long time because I said I can't afford to pay them, and I was specifically thinking of Project Help You Grow because I fund Project Help You Grow out of my own pocket. It's not a for-profit venture. I don't make any money on it, right? I pay out of money for it. So it took me a minute, and when I say a minute, it took me a couple years to come to grips with this idea that there's other things in life that are worth value that are not just money. But I do pay, when I hire people, I pay them. So the internship program, I'm going to invest a lot of time in developing their skills.
Right.
And that's what they get out of it. But like I said, also the other things, the referral, the access to me, the friendship, the potential. It's kind of like I told the first group, and I did this in the summer. I said, this is like an extended interview, because if you do a really good job and you want to work for me, there is a job at the end for the person, right? Now, I didn't end up hiring anybody in the summer. In full disclosure, I don't promise that I'm hiring. I
Right.
say the opportunities are. It didn't happen. I actually had to shut the program down a little bit early because of stuff that was happening with my family and life, right? But this one, hopefully, we'll be able to make it through the whole thing, and everybody will be cool. But I love Mary Ellis. She's
Yeah,
so nice.
I'm gonna say it's awesome. Just really awesome.
Yeah, and also Alicia's in Virginia, has been since Monday, and the house hasn't burned down. I don't think we've set off any of the smoke detectors cooking the food.
So that's where RJ is, correct?
Yeah, so he's in Lynchburg, Virginia, starting at Liberty University, which is where I graduated from. But I didn't go there in person. I went there online. So he's actually there.
And he's a legacy.
Yeah, he's a legacy. I got my diploma there. So there you go.
So I don't know. He might.
He got a discount because I graduated there.
She might. He might join the Delta House.
I don't think they have a Delta house there.
Are you sure? I know.
I'm not sure.
I don't. I never went to college, so I didn't know if it was an Animal House thing or whatever. But
Yeah. No, I'm very familiar.
Well, that's good. That is awesome.
I was in a fraternity at San Jose State. So that's the thing. If people are paying attention, I went to San Jose State for 6.5 years, didn't graduate. That's how smart I am.
So I know we're down to we got 12 minutes left. So tell us, I know you just went and told us a little bit about what you did, but if anybody needed you or whatever, how do we get in touch with Ira Bowman?
Yes. So there's really a couple ways. I mean, if you're looking for my marketing services, the marketing services at Bowman Digital Media, really we cater to small service-based businesses their pipeline is kind of empty, right? They don't have enough sales leads coming in. Instead of paying somebody for a list of strangers and then you're going to drive them crazy emailing and calling and they're like, who the hell are you? Quit bugging me. Instead of doing that, for the same amount of money or less, you could actually hire us. We'll run your social media and your search engine optimization, and we'll get you organic leads where we're actually developing the relationships for you, for your business online. There's billions of people on social media and in the search engines, and we just help siphon some of those people over to your website. But the bounce rate is less than 20% as opposed to having a bounce rate of over 80% with the cost per copy or cost per click, pay per click, however, or campaign, however you want to call it, right? Paying for ads, paying for strangers to see your ads gets a lot of clicks, but it doesn't get a lot of the most important click. On your websites, you have a button that says order here or contact us, right? Everybody has one or the other. Well, if they don't click that button, then the traffic coming to your website isn't really helpful.
Right.
So we get people to get to know who you are before they even go to your website. When they go to your website, they're much more likely to hang in with you. If your site's slow or it's a little bit hard to figure out where things are, they're going to have more patience with you because they already know, like, and trust you. It's important. Now, the other things we do, we create websites for people or maintain websites for people. We do graphic design. That's actually the thing I've been doing the longest of the services I offer. Photography work and video capture and editing. And it doesn't have to be that I capture everything. A lot of the video actually projects that I work on, somebody else shot it and we just edit it and we add like the graphics and the music and those things, the effects to increase the production value. But you find all of that on Bowman Digital Media. It's in my name there on the screen, bowmandigitalmedia.com. Now, if you just want to see my pictures, you can go to my name, which is irabowman.com, and you can see all my photos. And that's fun stuff that I like to do. I would do photography work for free if I could pay the bills another way. I love photography, everything about it. I like taking the pictures. I like editing it. I like putting them up. I like talking about the stories and everything. So anyways, that's way more about me than probably most of you wanted to know, but there you go. Joe, tell us about Joe, the finance guy, brother.
Oh, no, I'm not. I told you, I like when you do it.
All right, but I feel like I'm the only one talking now. All right,
Joe, don't worry about that. That's all right. I'm putting up your link and stuff.
I appreciate that. All right, let's talk about Joe, the finance guy. So if you are in retail, specifically if you're in retail where you're selling something that's like $300 or more, up to $4,000. So I'm talking about jewelry, watches, phones, computer equipment, furniture, furnishings. You right?
Tires.
Yeah, tires. Don't forget the tires, the wheels. You have.
Sorry.
Look, we're getting ready to get into the colder months. Maybe you need like an outdoor arrangement for outdoor living, like a fancy barbecue or one of those sets of heater things. I mean, whatever it is.
Where do you live? In California? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's cold here. We're not doing stuff out there.
I don't need that stuff, bro. You need it outdoor.
Midwest. Man, we don't do that. Are you kidding me?
Is it cold there already?
It's cold. It snows. We stay in.
Wow. Okay. Well, maybe you need a giant screen TV.
Bingo.
Recliner chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
New couch set, all that stuff. Okay. So, anyways, $300 to $4,000 is the
4,000. Yep.
Yeah, that's the variance there. So if you're selling items, retail environment. When I was a kid, we had layaway. Layaway was great when you're poor because eventually you would get it. But the problem with layaway for the store owner was they had to pull the item from inventory and store it, which cost money. And they really only got the money that you put down. So if there was like a zero down layaway, they didn't even get any money. So they're incurring costs and not even getting anything for it. What Joe does, or what Joe's company offers, is a program. It's technically a lease, but what they do, it's like modern day layaway. You get to sell the item right away. You get to get paid right away, and you have zero cost to your business. Cost of goods sold is zero. So how does this work? Well, the way it works is the customer is going to pay the finance charges. So they're going to apply and get almost instant, like very fast approval.
45 seconds.
Via an app. All they really need to do is have a steady job, a paycheck that they can verify. 90 days, Joe?
We have a 90-day.
No, I mean, how long do they have to have the job? Is it 90 days on the job?
Oh, yeah. It says 3 months. 3 months consecutive income. And we take all types of income. We take military, disability, Social Security, full-time, part-time. I know remember, we did put the disclaimer out there, correct?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I used to say, we even take drug money.
No, that's a joke.
That is a joke.
If you're reading the text, that's a joke.
Yeah. Right. I could just see everybody now. Joe, what the heck were you telling me?
They might, actually.
But it's a joke because, well, it's self-employment. So that's it. So, and I'm talking about when I say that, the joke would be that it's tongue in cheek. It really was a joke. Here I am
tongue in cheek. Come on.
Yeah.
This is Joe and Ira show here, baby.
We take all types of income except unemployment, which makes a lot of sense. And they must have a checking account.
Yeah, but Joe, I mean, here's the thing, right? I mean, these are basic things. They have a checking account. They have a basic job or whatever. They don't have to have credit. In fact, they usually don't have access to any other credit. That's why they were lookers. They were there browsing your store with, daydreams in their head, and now you're giving them a way to actually become a buyer. So they didn't have cash. They didn't have a credit card with room, but they want the item. They need the item. Sometimes things happen. You talked about wheels. I mean, how many times has somebody had a blowout on the freeway or something like that? And you go to the tire shop, Big O or wherever, it's $1,200. It's $1,800.
And they don't have that money, right?
They don't have it. What can they do? They got to get to work so they can earn the money. They need the vehicle to get to work. So this provides that bridge, if you will, where people can go from needing this without money to getting it. And they're always going to pay a small fee, but there's a 90-day thing if they can pay in the first 90 days where, it's what do they call that?
90-day buyout option.
90-day buyout option. There. I'm off my game a little bit today. But anyways, there you go. So store owners, if you're listening, what I said is modern day layaway, you get paid right away. No cost of goods sold. The client gets to leave with the merchandise that same day.
Correct.
And they pay all the fees that are associated with it.
Yep.
And the whole thing happens over an app. It's super simple. All they need is a steady paycheck for 90 days or more and a checking account.
Yep. Make over $1,000 a month household income. Very easy. And I'm telling you, like in some of the tire stores that I've been in, because I don't know anybody in this, and I could be wrong, but I don't know anybody that goes, you know what? Next week, put it down. We're going to get tires, 4 brand new ones for the car.
Nobody's ever thinking about that.
Oh, they're not. Do you know when they think about it?
The minute they need it.
Right. It's when I shared that story with you about me driving to the Big O in Seymour, and guess what ended up happening? When I was driving, my one tire blew out on the Batmobile.
Can you put up? Mariella just made a great point, and I got this alert earlier. There is an iPhone and Mac OS update that you should do. I'm actually doing it right now, Mariella. Can't use my phone because it's updating.
There's an update for it.
Yeah, so there was a security breach. That happens, right? Hackers find security breaches. So go into, if you don't know how to do it, you want to go into settings and then general and then updates, I believe. Let me just look real quick, but I believe that's correct. So
15.6.1.
Yeah, 15.6.1 and you're good. So you go to the little cog that says settings and then you go into general and then you go into software update and it'll check. And you want to see 15.6.1. If you see anything less than that, you need to update your phone. Please do it right now. Keep yourself safe.
And I'll do my wife's when I get it. But iPhones and iPads, correct? Nothing else.
And your Mac computers. Get your OS. Yeah, get your OS.
Well, guess what? I better hurry up. Come on.
Yeah. Hope you don't get hacked in the next
3 minutes.
1 minute and 50 seconds.
Yeah. Man, I better hurry up there.
All right. So, Joe, next week we're gonna hopefully have Ryan back.
Yeah.
Joseph. Joseph is very nice.
Correct. Thank you, Joe.
And we'll be over on Ira's channels.
Yeah.
Because I've been a slacker. Well, I was in mobile, so I asked Joe, like, hey, can you book the show for this week too? Just because I didn't want to miss it or whatever. And
you had to remind me because I think you didn't remind me. I knew I had to do it. I just didn't.
Yeah, but I checked in. I'm like, I didn't see the link.
And then God, what did you put? Like G.I. Joe or something like that?
Yeah, Yo Joe.
Yeah, and
I started out with Joe.
And I'm like going to. I think I was getting ready for bed.
It was about bedtime for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And so I was like, I know I'll get it done. I was trying to hurry up. I didn't mean to be short on answers. I was just.
I forgot to mention this. The supercharger. Remember I was at the supercharger a couple weeks ago, guys? Yeah. So we did the SoCal Business Network supercharger. Those videos, the speeches are all now on YouTube if y'all want to check them out. So they've been viewed quite a bit.
You had the link on there. I thought I saw one from Facebook to go to.
Yeah, so the live ones, the video camera for the lives were crap. That was their camera on their stuff. It was bad. So now I have the better camera. You guys will like this much better. The audio is still not great, but it's better. But everything that was in that supercharger is now available online as far as the speeches go. So you can see all 9 speeches. And then, Joe, we got an announcement coming eventually. We're working on this. The next supercharger is going to be in Indianapolis. So date and time and location, all that stuff to be determined. But there's going to be like 50 seats. That's what we're aiming for. So once we announce it, you're gonna need to get in quick to make sure you don't get locked out.
Yep.
And if you guys are interested in sponsoring that wherever you are, whether in Indianapolis or anywhere else, you guys can sponsor the show too. I will tell you this: the Supercharger page lives on in forever on Bowman Digital Media. So those backlinks that you get are permanent follow backlinks, and you get all the exposure during all the social media posts that we do. You're going to get referenced as a sponsor. So if you're interested in being a sponsor, sponsorships for that start at $250 and go. You can buy the most expensive sponsorship for $2,500, but there's levels in between. So talk to me if you're interested. If you're watching this and you're interested in a corporate sponsorship, and we'll get you the information. And that goes to help pay for the event and the swag stuff. So you'll have opportunity to hand out stuff with your logo on it during the event. And if you guys want to come out, if you're in Indianapolis, you want to come out the day of the event and set up a booth, as if you're a sponsor, you will get to do that. So there you go.
That is awesome.
Supercharger. You should see, if you haven't seen the videos that I put up on YouTube, go there because I created an animation for the beginning of the videos. It's like electricity going sideways. It's pretty cool. Anyways.
All right, I'll check it.
You know I geek out on that stuff, man.
I know you do. Heck, I think all the videos you've done for me. Hey, Joe, check this one out.
I
And
love it.
when you did the hand one, I remember when you first did that, the hand going up there. I thought that was awesome. So good stuff. Hey, now Sabrina said we didn't do highlights of the week. So before we leave, what was your highlight?
Oh, I forgot to do that.
I got
Yeah.
one of mine. I know what my highlight is.
Well, I think the highlight for me was the Mobile trip because there was just so much. My wife asked me, she's like, "So what are you learning?" And I'm like, "Man, how do I even express it?"
Yeah,
in
that's the way you want to start off. Sorry, Alicia. He really is learning something. I hope he did tell you something on that.
I
You
learned a
don't
lot.
go, well, I spent a week, but wow, where do I start?
Yeah, no, I've applied a lot of these lessons already. Like that, I mean, it was really the biggest thing. I think the biggest thing for me was the passive income, like figuring
right.
that part out. But another thing, and we could talk about this next week, there's something called an iMovie. And it isn't like what you're thinking. It's not like Apple thing, right? It's like a where do you have that vision board? It's kind of like a vision board,
Uh-huh.
but it's a movie that you create. It's got the stuff that you want to accomplish and the things like affirmation sentences and stuff like it's all you. Usually 5 or 6 minutes, and you're supposed to play it every day when you wake up, and then every night before you go to bed. And it's kind of like just setting the tone for you. And you do that, you know what I mean?
I've heard about
So
that. And actually, it's funny you should say that. I have something that I've been wanting to do and use my screen flow with, like and do something with it, but that's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about that next
I'm
week.
gonna be making mine, and if I'm brave, maybe I'll show you, but we'll
You can
see.
show me. I'd
No,
sit
I
there.
mean on the show.
I'm not going to judge. Well,
Yeah,
I won't judge. Well,
yeah.
my highlight was She-Hulk came out yesterday.
Tell me, She-Hulk. What's that?
She-Hulk on Marvel Disney.
So this is like the female version of Hulk?
Oh my god, I thought it was great. I was laughing. I watched.
Cartoon? Is it cartoon or?
Oh, it's live action. It's just like every other series that they've been doing on Disney Plus.
I never even heard of this, bro. Really?
You've never heard of She-Hulk?
No.
Oh my god. So, but anyways, I thought it was great. We could talk about that next week.
So that's on Netflix.
That no.
Prime.
No. Disney Plus.
Disney
I even
Plus.
just said Disney Plus.
I got Disney Plus. I could watch it tonight.
Okay, so we'll start all over. She-Hulk is part of Marvel.
I know you know what that means, but I still don't know what that means. That means
Marvel is Disney bought Marvel.
I didn't know that. I mean, I guess I should. I don't know.
Yeah, you've been watching the other
Joe,
seasons.
you love me.
I know I do, but every time with the
Every single time.
it was really good, and even Mark Ruffalo was in it. And you just got to watch this first
It's
episode.
called She-Hulk.
Yeah, it's called
If
She-Hulk.
I just go to Disney Plus,
Yep.
put in She-Hulk. That's all
No, you just go to Disney Plus and you'll see it right there. It's one of their highlights, but it's She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
I guarantee you that Ira and some of the other kids will be all over it. So we'll watch it tonight.
Yeah,
that sounds like fun.
Sabrina wants to see your vision board too, so we definitely got to talk about iMovie, and then
yeah,
I'm gonna make it a point. I'm gonna try to do mine by next week.
So let me talk about vision board just for 30 seconds. I don't actually have a vision board. I love the idea of a vision board, but I never actually made one. Most people who followed me for a while, and Sabrina's been following me for a while, she knows. What I do is I have my goal setting session in November. And in November, what I do is I come up usually with whatever the year is, I come up with at least that many goals. And so I'll split off sometimes like 5 or 6 personal goals, and the rest will be business goals. So I have that, but I don't have like the magazine cutouts or the image built in a board that I stare at.
Right.
I agree that it's helpful and I should do it, but I've been lazy on that, I guess. But part of it is just logistically. I mean, for those of you guys who have seen behind the
curtain.
behind the curtain here, above me is a screen that sits above me, and then I've got 3 screens here. There's really not a place to put it. It's a physical limitation.
Back of your door.
Yeah, but I would never see it. The door sits open most of the time.
At least it's there, and then now you have a reason to close it.
There is a soundproofing pad here. You know that they look like the diamond things, the black. I mean, it's fancy, bro. I could pull that down and put a vision board there, I guess. Yeah, I'm thinking digitally. I'm thinking digitally is probably the way to go with that, Sabrina. And I probably will build one because I need to figure out what I want to put in the iMovie.
Yeah.
Maybe
But I did mine, and it's on the back of my door.
We could talk about the strategies. That would be a fun topic. The strategy for it.
Strategy board. All right.
Yeah.
I'll put that in. But I'm going to work on, now that you said that, there's a couple things I've been taking notes during our thing today. So thanks for getting me started on a couple other things. I like to expand my mind a little bit each and every week.
That's what's fun about this show, man. You never know where it's going to go. Like, even when we think we know where it's going.
Nope. Well, you didn't expect me to talk about the hashtag quiet quitting. So
no, but that was fun. I think that was.
I think it was very informative, and it was something. And I'll know more about it next week because, as I say, my friend, he wants to do something like almost like a PowerPoint on it.
Yeah.
And
give him my information because maybe I can help.
I definitely will,
because that could be cool. And then also I want to plug. What is it called? Ask Ira and Lisa.
Oh yeah, the Wednesday.
Yeah,
is it Wednesday?
Job Seeker Q&A will be live again this Wednesday. So what's funny, we debuted, and I can't tell you why, but there was something significant that happened to Lisa. She was not able to make it, so we ended up debuting the show, and I was there by myself. But she had a very good reason, and so that situation has gotten better. I'm sure we'll talk about it on the show, but I don't want to spill the beans. So,
don't worry, Alicia. I talked about you. If you didn't see it, don't worry.
We did. We talked about Cincy because RJ's room stinks.
Yep.
And we talked about you're in Lynchburg, Virginia, and he's a legacy and all that stuff.
Yep.
We even put out a prayer request for the interview.
Yep.
Or what audition.
But, yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways. All right.
Well, anyway, I
next week. Yeah, next week on Ira Bowman's channel, same time, same place. 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Every Friday. It's just a matter of which channel we're on, Ira or Joe. We'll be on Ira's channel next week. So look for me. If you're on Facebook, it's on Bowman Digital Media, not on my personal. That's the one thing that kind of throws people off. But on YouTube, it's just the Ira Bowman channel. And on LinkedIn, it's the Ira Bowman channel as well. I will send out some invites for all of you. So if you don't get one and you want one, let me know. I can send out the invite. But Mariella, I'm not inviting you because I don't want to make you feel bad if you can't make it.
I thought about that too.
Yeah, but we love that you're here.
Yep.
And congratulations again on getting that new job. So
awesome.
Cool. All right.
Well, everybody, have a great weekend. Talk to you next week.
Peace.
Thanks, peace.
BowmanDigitalMedia.com.
JoeTheFinanceGuy.com